Shout out to Jesse D123 for providing all the hidden rewards for the Conquest map that just dropped. The Team Affinity 2 Conquest map is not as good as the Conquest maps were before. Now for completing the Conquest map, all you're getting is vouchers, which the vouchers of course are going to allow you to get some Team Affinity progress, and the Spring Breakout / Soul Series pack is also a nice reward, but it's not repeatable and you get a ton of them throughout Team Affinity in general. And since we have moved in terms of the scaling when it comes to overall, they're just not as good as they were once. So completing this Conquest map, we're going to do what we always do, which is look to practice the nipple approach when it comes to any of these strongholds. And if you don't know what that approach is, it's basically going to be circling in a stronghold as fast as possible. What I would advise is, if you lose any of these fans, especially in the very early stages of this Conquest map, just go ahead and restart, because the more fans you have in the beginning, the better it is for you. And since you haven't beaten any stronghold yet, by restarting you're not really losing anything except for maybe 30 seconds, maybe 50 seconds, depending on how lucky you are. So the Oakland Athletics are going to be the first stronghold that we are going to circle in, and then we're going to go after the San Francisco Giants next. We're not going to go out of our way to attack any of these territories that the San Francisco Giants have, at least not yet, because it is just not worth it. Why is it not worth it? Because as we continue moving into these open territories, we're losing fans, and by losing fans, it makes it a little more difficult for us to actually have enough to be favored in the simulations. So the San Francisco Giants generally move to this 2 first. We're not going to attack that 2 just yet. We have them circled in already. Instead, we are going to reinforce this territory next to the 3. And the reason we're keeping a 3 there is because that is where the Oakland Athletics are going to attack first. The San Francisco Giants ended up losing that first simulation against us, which is fine. We are going to want to circle in the Baltimore Orioles as well. Now that the Giants only have, let's say for example, or not that they only have, there's actually not going to be a point in attacking the Giants yet. We're going to let them at least attempt to break into our circle around them, and instead what we're going to focus on is just circling in the Baltimore Orioles as best as we can without locking ourselves on them or locking ourselves from continuing the path. As you can see, with 3 million, the Oakland Athletics are still not able to take us down. Now we have the Baltimore Orioles locked in as well. The Texas Rangers are getting a little bit stronger. We now have 14 million fans to start our reinforcements with, and we have been getting extremely lucky as well, I must say, in terms of the San Francisco Giants not being able to go ahead and take away any fans from this pathing right here. But if they were to take any fans away from your pathing, I would highly suggest going and instead of reinforcing and moving this way, the way I'm currently moving, you probably want to regain these territories. We're not going to go after the Milwaukee Brewers, and I'm not sure I want to go after the Baltimore Orioles just yet, but seeing them have 3 million here definitely makes me more willing, because with 3 million fans, it's much easier to beat a 1 million fan territory and continue expanding. So that's what we're going to do in this situation. We're going to put 18 million here, which might be a little bit of an overkill, but sometimes these simulations are the worst simulations in the world, so you have to go out of your way to make things a lot easier for you. And look at that, we started off with 18 million and we're all the way to 3 million, and hopefully we win this one pretty easily, which we do. We have 2 million there. That's going to be the blocker for the Baltimore Orioles because they will attack this first. The Giants still have not been able to go ahead and take our territory, so we are going to reinforce here. And while reinforcing here, look, they finally were able to break through, which is perfect because we were heading that way anyways. So we're not too mad about it. We're just going to continue on taking open territories in order to have better reinforcement rounds, and we're probably going to end up reinforcing one of these territories right here. That way we can come up around the San Francisco Giants when we do go ahead and look to surround them, which we're going to do right now. I'll tell you guys where you want the blocker for the San Francisco Giants once we get to that point. But as you can see, they continue eating around us, and that's fine. Never ever make a path that is going to lock you in and not allow you to continue attacking open spaces or territories in general. The blocker for the San Francisco Giants is going to be in the top left, so it's going to be here, but we don't have to place it just yet. With these 18 million fans, we are going to take as many open territories as we possibly can from the Reds. That way we don't allow them to continue expanding and causing more simulations for us. I had to see how to calculate it perfectly. That way we could take as many open territories as possible and not leave a certain amount of territories in a dead-end spot. So we're going to skip the Steel Fans phase. We're going to skip to reinforce here. We're going to reinforce this territory with 3. It seems like the Cincinnati Reds are going to be pretty aggressive, which once again, we don't mind. Instead, we're just going to continue getting as many open territories as we can. And if that leads us to moving towards the Braves or Milwaukee Brewers, that's going to be fine as well. We should be able to get to either of them without a problem. As you have seen, or maybe you didn't pay attention to it, the Orioles were actually able to beat that 3 million and get themselves a 1 million territory. And that's something else that you want to keep in mind. You want to keep 3 million fans inside each blocker every single time, regardless of, like, for example, the Giants. We have 2 right there. We want to make sure that in our next reinforcement phase that we go ahead and have 3 once again. We're probably going to take this 15 million and go straight after the Braves. Well, actually, yeah, we'll go straight after the Braves, and we'll have something just holding them off there. We got extremely lucky not to lose any fans there, and we got extremely lucky to walk away with 8 million fans there as well. So, you know, you can't complain about that. We're going to put 3 million there. We're going to go and put about 7 million here. It's a little overkill, but it's going to be what we have to do. And we're going to reinforce the rest of our fans on this territory right here because we want to surround the Cincinnati Reds as fast as possible, because as you can see, they are reinforcing these territories big time. And like I said, you want to leave 3 million fans next to a stronghold, so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to leave 3 million fans there. And in order to leave 3 million fans there in a moving phase, it needs to say 2 million reinforcements remaining, and that's how you will leave 3 million fans there. Now, we're not going to care about these 3 million territories that the Cincinnati Reds have next to us. We are going to circle them in off rip. That is going to be our focus. And now we have 6 million fans next to the Orioles. The Oakland Athletics were able to take that 1 million fan territory back, which is fine with us. And now you make a beeline to circle in the Cincinnati Reds. And the way you're going to circle them in is you don't want any of your territory leader in terms of pathing to be next to any of their high-end territories in terms of numbers. So if they had a 4 or 5 million or 6 million, let's say, near us, we would want to stay as far away from them unless we had to attack them in order to circle them in. So this 2 million, this 3 million, these numbers right here, these are going to be territories that we do want to take care of because they will attack our 1 million. We just want territories that have 1 million fans next to us for the time being, and we'll be completely fine with that. As you can see, they have a 6 million territory and a 4 million territory and a 2 million territory, but those are surrounded by 1 million territories. So guess what? They can't move. So there's nothing for the Cincinnati Reds to do. With the remaining 18 million, wow, we lost a lot there. So now we have 11 million, which means we're fighting with 10. We lost 1 there, which means we're fighting with 8. We're losing a good amount. I think I'm going to leave it with 5 here. We're going to skip to Steel Fans Face, skip to Reinforce. Once again, make sure this has 3 million fans. We're going to do the same thing with the Orioles, make it a little bit overkill, put 7 million there. And then the Cincinnati Reds, the 3 million blocker is going to be to their left. With these 5 million fans that we have up here, we have 2 options. We can circle in the Blue Jays, but it doesn't seem like it's 100% necessary, at least just yet. We can go up towards the Pittsburgh Pirates. We can go towards the Arizona Diamondbacks. We don't need to get next to the Brewers anytime soon, so I think I'm fine there as well. It's really going to be up to you. If you really wanted to, you could even start attacking strongholds at this point. I'm not going to go after the Texas Rangers because it seems like it's a little bit of a dead end to go after them. And with these 5 million fans, I'm actually going to put them in the blocker for the Cincinnati Reds. That way, I guarantee that we don't allow the Cincinnati Reds to take that territory back. Now look at that. Everything is blocked perfectly. We now have 34 million fans to work with. And to prevent the Diamondbacks from continuing to reinforce that 2 million that's inside our pool of white, we are going to cut off some of their pathing before going straight after the Pittsburgh Pirates and circling them in as well. Now for the Pittsburgh Pirates, you are going to see that they do have some pretty big territories in terms of fans. They had one with 4 million that it seems like they're moving towards the Seattle Mariners, and they're actually not gonna attack. So it's gonna be better for us to go towards the right. That way we can face both of these 3 million territories before they get any bigger and attack our 1 million territories, which that simulation right there was absolutely trash. The Pittsburgh Pirates have a 6 million territory that they were attacking the Arizona Diamondbacks with. That did us a humongous favor as well. We are going to have 9 million here. That 3 million we're not going to attack because the Houston Astros have a 5 million basically saying, I'm waiting for you guys to make the first move. And we're not going to make the first move here. So we have 3, 6. We have now circled in the Pirates, so they're no longer going to be able to reinforce. They're going to end up having to face off the Houston Astros with no reinforcements. And with these 6 million fans, we are going to make sure that they end up in the top right because that is where they reinforce from. So we are not going to reinforce there. Instead, we are just going to move these 6 million fans to the top right. And with our 47, we still have a blocker that is healthy in each stronghold, so there's no reason to move just yet. The Cincinnati Reds won, lost 1, but we're completely fine with that as well. We need to make sure that we place a blocker where this 5 million is, which I'm probably blocking. But the Arizona Diamondbacks at the 5 million mark, that is where you need to place your blocker. That's where you're going to want to have it. After you have the Arizona Diamondbacks basically cornered in, you can start moving down towards the Texas Rangers. And at the Texas Rangers, you are going to corner them in as well. And their bottom right one is going to be the one that actually needs to be the blocker. Now, if you pay close attention to the Pirates stronghold, you will see that the Houston Astros have came all the way down to take half of the circle that we had created against them, which is 100% fine. We're not worried about that, and we don't stress that at all, because as long as it's not Pirates, they can't reinforce these territories. Now, obviously, you do want to cut the pathing away from the Houston Astros, so they can't reinforce those leading territories. So we're just going to do that, and now these territories are just going to be sitting there looking pretty. We're not going to attack this 6 million with our 6 million because it is not a high chance of us winning the simulation, right? So there's no point. Now with this reinforcement, once again, make sure that each blocker is healthy. Now that you have a ton of fans to reinforce with, you can up the amount for the blockers to 6 million if you truly wanted to. Keep in mind that for this Pirates territory, you're going to want 6 million there. You could have moved to 5 million if you truly wanted to, but I don't think I want to do that. With these 6 million fans, I think I'm going to not put them all in there, but we want to make sure we win. So we're going to put 20 million here, and then with the rest, you can decide whether you are going to start heading towards the Blue Jays, start heading towards the Twins, start heading towards the Astros, or start heading towards the Mariners and the Dodgers. And this is the path you're going to take to capture each and every single stronghold and prevent it from expanding. And then once you are completely done and you have every single stronghold or territory captured, all you're going to do is skip to reinforcements phases and stack all your territories into one of the territories next to the stronghold that you're looking to attack, and then face them on rookie difficulty, work on stat missions as well as parallel XP missions, and you're going to knock out this conquest map without a problem as fast as possible. Now, if you did end up enjoying today's content, once again, make sure you hit that like button or subscribe button, notification bell. Check out the description for the Twitch where we stream daily, the Discord that we're launching soon that's already launched, but I haven't set it up 100% for the community, and the second YouTube channel, which is the gameplay channel. Social medias are in there as well. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, all of that. Follow whichever ones you're not following. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace out.